So like today we lied by omission by saying, "Hey, Dan's grandfather's in the hospital. Jared's cat needs to be checked out, and Matt has 4 classes he has to teach and has to figure out a way to do it online now." So we kind of explained to people.
Right. You said he's a professor, right?
Yeah, and he got a 4th class like 2 weeks ago.
Damn.
That's the middle of the semester. They're technically on spring break right now.
What does he teach?
He teaches math. I think he's teaching the new class is algebra, college algebra, and he's done that before. That's no big deal. But now he has to do it online, so that's where it's like, ugh. He teaches. I can't remember if he teaches calculus. He teaches like some higher math a little bit here in a seminar class. So it's just trying to figure out how to do all that online. I tried to tell him he should just record these lectures and just put it up for the students. But he wants to do it live so that when students are there listening live, he can answer questions as it goes. I totally understand that.
We'll do a live stream.
But he has 4 classes at the same time. Not at the same time, sorry. 4 classes in one day. So it's kind of like, on the one hand, it's like, okay, his first class is earlier in the day, and then there's like an hour and a half break, but still it's like, he does have to live stream it, but he has to do it on this thing called Zoom, which is what most professors are using right now. And it's a whole thing trying to get the class, like the online codes for certain things. It's been a whole mess, and he hasn't really worked on it. And he had all day today, and I was talking to him earlier, updating him that we haven't heard back about my grandfather's test yet. And he was like, "Oh, I've been procrastinating." I'm like, "You son of a bitch." Today would have been a perfect day to start testing. It's like, okay, how does this sound? Does it sound okay? Can people hear me clearly? Things like that. I told him he could borrow my mic if he needs to, but yeah. He hasn't even gotten to the part where he's testing things yet, so I don't think he needs my mic just yet.
Damn.
Yeah. And Jared, oh my God. I feel so bad for him. Him and his girlfriend just got a condo in Brighton.
You're telling me about that, yeah.
And they haven't even finalized where the mortgage payments are supposed to go. And this is all happening right now. So it's kind of like, what do we do?
Yeah. But on the bright side, it does seem like we're pretty close to beginning a check cut from the government.
Yeah, I saw that they agreed on some terms for 2 payments, one in April, one in May, but that's it. So it's kind of like, then what? Like, cool, the short term, awesome. What about June, July? Like, I know they can only think in short term right now, but like, if you and I are talking, things are going to be a mess for at least a year and a half. And I say at least a year and a half because again, I'm just assuming we're like maybe a year out from a vaccine. When I say a year out, I mean they got to get it, find a vaccine, get it tested, get it approved.
Well, it might not be that long because India already has been testing, and they're really close.
I've heard that.
I know Germany's also been testing, but that's all I've heard of. But I read an article today that India have been testing. So basically, they're just finalizing it and trying to get it approved. You know.
Well, I hope that is the case because it's okay. Let's say it's roughly been a week since it's disrupted the entire country for us. In that one week,
it's been in the world for like a while now, like for
since December.
2 months, yeah, 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about us because we can only speak about our experience, how it's disrupted our lives currently, and I just mean like in the full scope of like the United States, it's disrupted us big time the last 2 weeks, I would say. And more so the country in the last week is when how we've started feeling the effects. When the stock market started dropping 3 weeks ago, that was the first one. That was the first big domino. Because it's like, okay, like I'm on the stock market, you know that. So it's like I try not to look at like how my portfolio is doing, because I'm just like, it's doing its thing. It's a long-term thing. I don't look at it so often. I'll go on to see if I want to buy something. And a few weeks back, I'm like, whoa, something happened. Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, it's corona related. Like, that makes sense. It's finally hitting the shores. Investors starting to get worried. We get a lot of our goods from China, so on, so on. Then, let's see, like right after my birthday is when it's like we started getting concerned about the show, because it's like, oh, they're starting to cancel things.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but they're more current or recent upcoming events, like in the next 2 weeks that they're canceling. It's like, okay. And I tried to just, hey, stay positive. You know, things are out of our control. Just because they canceled that doesn't mean they're going to cancel Anime Boston. But then as the next week went on, I'm like, yeah, at one point, just like I'm sure you would think, it's like, oh, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they're going to cancel.
Yeah.
That's what brought us to last week. And whew, yeah. When it finally hit me, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you've heard anything, but in terms of like my job, like
Yeah.
Home Depot, they're basically making us stay open. What my store is doing, and I don't know if it's the same way for every other store, but we're going to be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then, like say if like for instance, I close for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So instead of leaving at 6 p.m., I have to stay there for the rest of my shift to stock the shelves.
Oh.
And it's like, they have a group of people that work there that do that. So why won't you just pay me for those hours and let me go home when the store closes? You know? That part I really don't get. And on top of that, they're not going to pay us any more. They're not going to bump up our hourly wage for working. Like I feel like they should. I know Darlene.
It's a hazard now.
Yeah, Darlene's job. Are paying her more hourly to work.
Oh wow!
So
to work through this,
even though Best Buy does not have to be open like Home Depot does. Home Depot has to be open.
And even then, it's like I would assume Best Buy would be open like 6 hours at this point a day.
Well,
they're not. I assume
they're like the same. They open at regular time and they close at 6.
Okay.
You know, and then she's already talked about pretty soon they'd be like,
we're gonna have to close at some point.
No, she was talking about how like they were gonna close the store but still have people working, so that way people can order shit and like pick it up. So they'll only let like 10 people or 12 people at a time in the store just to pick up their shit.
Oh.
And then leave, or if they have like appointments with the Geek Squad.
Okay, you know, I would say that's a little more reasonable and responsible.
You know,
I know we talked about
sense.
At work for me. We talked about like, okay, with everything going on, we can't afford to be open every day. Also, we can't afford to all be working at the same time. Like we knew kind of earlier this week, it's like, okay, all of our hours are going to get cut. We know that. It's just a matter of who and how many hours.
Hmm.
So we agreed, I think starting this upcoming Monday, we're going to be open Wednesday to Monday. No, sorry. Thursday to Monday from 12 to 6. Wednesdays 11 to 6. Because Wednesday's New Comic Day. So it's reasonable to open an hour earlier or an hour later. I think we agreed on 6, so it's like, okay, the store still closes at 6, just Wednesday we open a little earlier. Because we also need to figure out, okay, can we make deliveries ourselves? Figuring out insurance on that is a little of a nightmare right now. but we're a small store, so maybe we can get away with certain stuff, but not really, especially with insurance. Also, we need to figure out. So, our store isn't very a shipping store, but we're gonna have to pivot to that real quick, and we've already started doing that. But it's like, okay, we need to do something that's a little more cost effective. So we're looking at things like stamps.com. They send you like everything you need really to figure it out for yourself, and they give you better rates, and they're licensed by U.S. Postal Service. So it's like, okay, we can do that. But all of it's just like we just have to learn by doing now, and it's really annoying. I've been trying to push for it for a couple of years, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we only have so much bandwidth to do so much.
Yeah.
My big project after AB was going to be getting our subscribers online so they can manage their polls themselves without having to contact us, because there's always a little thing here and there. And I've noticed, like, especially with one subscriber, we've had like a fuck up every week for the last 3 weeks. Damn. So it's like if we had a system in place where we didn't manually have to do it, and it just gives us a list of who we have to pull for and what we have to pull and how much of it, that'd be great. That'd be worth the money alone. Also getting our store online completely, like being able to show our inventory online without having someone call every time to figure out if something's coming in, when something's coming in. If we can just have that information on the site without someone having to call and ask us about it, that's one less call we have to worry about and more time to be spending on other things we can do in the store, and like being able to ship. Yeah. Getting our store on eBay, because we have a lot of stuff in the store that's never sold, and things on the wall that hasn't sold in like years, and we've had it forever. Yeah, so now it's like, okay, we have to pivot to it now rather than like, okay, one project at a time. Nope, all of it right now. God damn, Nige. It's the end of the Halloween episode, and it's the one where they're all like, their bodies go inside out, and they're all dancing, and then the dog starts eating one of them. I'm like, oh, God.
Got all the Simpsons, right?
Oh, Lord. And I can't stand it because it's still full screen. It's still cut off, not like, you know.
Oh.
They haven't changed the aspect ratio, at least on that episode. Like, I heard they were supposed to, but here we are.
All right, what else do you want to talk about, dude?
We can talk about anything. I figure it's like, okay, let's start with just what's been going on with us.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that it was natural to talk about that, you know. It just seems like everyone's been talking about that. I mean, it's kind of hard not to.
Right?
You know?
It's like, okay. I mean, are you guys... Okay, so when I was at the hospital the other night to visit my grandpa, I was in the waiting room for a while, and of course they had the news on. What else are they going to have on, really? Wheel of Fortune? I wish. So it's like I was getting a lot of updates really fast about the news. A lot of it being New York, and like you guys were like 24 to 48 hours away from finding out if there's going to be a shutdown. Are you guys? Is there?
No, I haven't heard anything about that. If anything, that New York City's probably already on lockdown. Like you can't get out in or out New York City, but New York in general, not so much. I know everything's still kind of open here in Buffalo, so I think we had as of yesterday, last night, we had our 21st case. So, I mean, compared to New York City, where they're pretty much at the thousands at this point, you know, it's nothing. So, I think right now, like I don't want to say it's good because nothing right now is good, but compared to New York City, it's good. You know?
It looks like New York State is seriously approaching, is what it says.
Well, because
I heard something about the tri-state area. Like there was something happened.
Yeah, because New York City, then New Jersey and Connecticut, that whole central area right there. They're thinking about locking that down because that's like a highly congested area. So
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
But I know we pretty much are in lockdown because we can't go down to the city. We can't go into Canada because they shut their borders.
Yeah, they shut their borders.
So, I mean...
I think they shut their borders worldwide except to Canadians who are trying to get back.
Yeah.
And U.S. citizens can get in, but I don't know how true that actually. Maybe it was true at one point, and it's just now completely shut down.
I'm pretty sure they're just gonna deny everyone trying to go in that's not a Canadian citizen. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. Unprecedented move. The governors of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut joined on Monday to shut down businesses across the state. Okay, this was for Monday, and that's the New York Post.
Yeah, no, that's all.
It looks like businesses were shut down.
Non-essential businesses. So
yeah.
Because Home Depot is technically like an emergency store, we have to be open unless it gets really fucking bad.
Unless you get like a complete shutdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, like San Francisco's already on complete shutdown for 3 weeks. So.
Yeah, I saw that, and like I've told you before, I'm a fan of Kind of Funny, and like it was actually okay. It's kind of funny that the Kind of Funny guys, they decided they're going to work from home starting that Monday. And then literally Sunday, oh, we're shut down starting tomorrow. And it's like, oh, well, they made the right choice at the right time, didn't they?
Yeah.
So wrestling, it's been fun.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Raw because.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I wanted to go to SmackDown last week because that was the first one.
Okay.
That was like, oh, this is the beginning of something interesting, and Triple H,
Michael Cole, fucking Triple H, man.
Those two were the distractions I needed the most. I'll say like the show was what it was. We're all in like new territory here, but Triple H and Michael Cole were exactly what we needed at that moment, because even the moment where Mojo came out, I never cared for Mojo, but when he's like pummeling Michael Cole and Triple H is just pushing Michael Cole,
yeah,
and Michael Cole's just like, what's happening? Like that was a laugh I needed.
No, I feel like they smashed it on Friday. Monday was kind of like, to me.
Well, yeah, because they killed 2 hours with the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble match. And I'm just like,
I mean, true.
And you know what the worst part was?
What?
I willingly sat through that.
So did I.
Just like, if I don't watch this, what else am I gonna watch?
So did I.
And honestly, it's like it was a little fun. Like, my buddy Peter, like I'm talking to him, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, you remember this part? He's like, not watching. And I'll hit him up again, like, yo, John Morrison almost had it. It's like, still not watching, bro. Still not watching. Then when Drew McIntyre eliminates Brock Lesnar, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're going to like go to commercial and come back and be like, that's it. No, they played the whole match. I'm like, that makes sense. He won the match. Why not play the whole thing? I'm like, oh, well, damn. Then it finally finishes up and it's like 10 o'clock. I'm like, sweet, what's next? And Andrade versus Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, I've seen that match like 45 times now.
That's exactly what I told Darlene. Exactly what I told her. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch this. I've seen this 3 million times. And then fucking Angel Garza is going to come down the ring and interfere. And then fucking Humberto Carrillo is going to do the same fucking thing. And it's going to be the same fucking thing we've seen for weeks.
And then it was Rey Mysterio wins. And it's like, cool. Match over. Awesome. Next, please. Thank you.
Bring on Stone Cold, please. Bring on Stone Cold. Because that's the real reason why I was watching. It's fucking Stone Cold.
Oh, how did we miss it? How did we forget? Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. Undertaker.
Yo, Undertaker. Damn, Willie.
I thought when he came out, I was like, is this the American Badass? Because it kind of looked like the American Badass on it, like with the whole headband and the fucking.
Yeah. I assume it's like
shit.
They were going for, okay, what is the human side of the Undertaker? Mark Calloway. What would he do as the Undertaker coming down? It's like, oh, he'd come down wearing a bandana and no shirt and just leather pants. That makes sense. Like when you go back to when Undertaker first went back to being the Undertaker at WrestleMania 20. I was at the SmackDown after that WrestleMania. I got to see Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio live. Fuck everybody. I got to see that match live and anyone. Fuck you, Ray. You ain't shit. You ain't never. No, I'm kidding. And that night, like after the show was over, Paul Heyman had cut a promo, came out in Tombstone Paul Heyman. But the funny thing was, he had a bandana on, and he was like the Phenom Undertaker that we all like learned to love again. Basically, it was like that's weird. But after that, you never saw him with a bandana. I'm guessing it was like a last minute decision. He just forgot to take off the bandana. I don't know. So it's like I haven't seen him wear it since, and now here he is with a bandana. It's like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, we're dropping, you know, we're dropping reality into wrestling here. So it's like, why would he show up in like the cape and we want to see Clark Kent, not Superman. Currently, we just want to see what's happening here. I do like that how AJ's like, nah, I'm not going out there.
Yeah,
too emotional. Like, why would I do that? I'll sign
you're
it
the
here.
Strongest man. You're the strongest man in this locker room. You take it to him.
Hey, how about you both go take it to him? I'm like, ooh, AJ, ooh. What? We didn't need to see these two men get murdered.
Right, exactly. They didn't deserve to be murdered either, you know?
Bruh.
They've been murdered already.
I'm saying, right? They were already dead.
Dead man walking, right?
I'm sitting here like, yo, is he going to sign it in their blood or something? Like, is this going to get real biblical? No, he just signed it. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I do like how, like, originally when I saw the beginning of the segment before I went to commercial, Undertaker comes out. I'm looking down at my computer because I'm like, oh, here we go. And I look up, and he'd already flipped the table twice. I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Yep.
Like, I blinked, and, like, he was already there. So, like, they show a replay, like, oh, Undertaker was mad the contract wasn't there. That's when he started flipping the table. And King just takes off. He's like, I don't want no part of this.
Right. Right.
In that moment, we were all the King. It's like, nope.
Yeah, like, fuck this shit, I'm out, right?
King's like us right now. Coronavirus is trying to fuck up your world. Like, nah, I'm out of here. Okay, then Rey Mysterio and what's his face? Face? Yes. I've been playing a lot of SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, so Mr. Kennedy comes up a lot in that game. He actually says, what's his name? What's his name? I love it. And then Austin comes out. So it was all really weird that he was reading from a cue card in front of him. And clearly he needs glasses. And I'm like, y'all could have just held a sign under the camera that had his lines for him instead of just having him on a cue card, but whatever. I assume they thought of that, and it didn't really work the way they wanted it to because he kept going like this, I'm guessing, like having to squint with his eyes.
Yeah, but I feel like if there was a crowd, it would have been a lot better for him too because, I don't know, I feel like that segment would have been really, like, so much better with the crowd.
Clearly, the segment we got was because there wasn't crowd. God, I've been playing Super Mario World all day, and I've been jumping on and off clouds. So it kind of makes sense that I would say that by accident. I just got an e-text from my mom. Just spoke with hospital. Grandpa's results should be in sometime tonight or first thing in the morning. Still has a fever of 101 as of 8:45, so half hour ago. And his lungs are worse. They keep suctioning his lungs every 30 minutes to keep him comfortable because of the pneumonia. Oh, awesome.
That's good news.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Where were we? Oh, so the Austin segment. So it was weird because there was no crowd and it's an Austin thing. So he feeds off the energy of a live crowd. So they needed to have something planned. I believe that. So the whole thing with Byron, I loved him like holding the cue cards, and it's like in that moment, I feel like he was the internet. He was definitely the internet. And then, so I didn't notice it when it happened. I only saw it when I saw the GIF on Twitter like 10 minutes later.
Oh yeah.
So Byron comes down, kick, boom, stunner. Becky comes out, kick, boom, stunner, beer bash. Cool. Picks Byron up, stunner again. Raw goes off the air as Austin saying, and that's the bottom line, cause cut. Like, we didn't get to hear because Stone Cold said so. It just went straight to the next show. Wow. That was hilarious to me. And then I go onto Twitter because I'm like, Byron, I needed that laugh. Thank you. I see the GIF, and I'm like, Byron just got kicked in the fucking nuts. I don't know what's worse. He got kicked in the nuts, then stunnered, or he got kicked in the nuts and stunnered.
Hey, actually, you can't really say what was worse because I would gladly get kicked in the nuts by Stone Cold Steve Austin and stunnered right after. I would gladly do that every day for the rest of my life.
It was just really funny that it's like, yo, like in the moment, I laughed. Then I see the GIF and I smiled even larger for it. I'm like, yo, yes, yes. And everyone's like, I'm pretty sure everyone didn't notice it until they saw the GIF. And I just saw wrestlers like lighting up because they saw the GIF and kept retweeting it. Like Mustafa Ali like retweeted it and said, Byron getting kicked in the nuts just put the biggest smile on my face. Thank you, Byron. We needed that.
I wonder if that was planned.
I'm just like, yo, that right there. That was the that made all 3 hours of Raw sitting through 2 hours of the Royal Rumble match. Because of commercials sitting through 2 hours of that match that we already saw. Totally worth it.
Oh, man.
And then AEW last night. Mwah. Oh my God.
That was a perfect show. Perfect fucking show.
So the show starts, and then we realize there's an audience. And I'm like, holy shit, that's cool. And then I see Colt Cabana, and my whole world lit up. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Colt Cabana gets to do the one thing he loves to do, sit there and watch wrestling and be a little funny guy. Oh, I'm all for it. Yes. Like, we don't have to go through the matches. It was just a fun show overall.
Yeah.
The women's 4-way match.
Oh,
awesome.
That was a good match. That was easily the best women's match they've had so far. Easily.
And it was just really funny. Penelope Ford and her boyfriend kept getting involved. And then who ended up winning the match? I can't remember. I just enjoyed the match.
Sheeta.
Who?
Sheeta.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Hikaru Sheeta.
Yeah, that makes sense. I assume she's going to be like the next person to.
Yeah, she's the number one contender.
Like, but before the crowds went away, everyone's behind her. So
yeah, I for a second thought that Ford was going to win because how she beat Riho on Dark the night before, and how everything was playing out. I was like, I think she's going to pick up the win here. You know,
that would have been cool, but she didn't need it at that moment. It's fine.
No.
She's still like building up steam as a heel character on TV, so it's like, okay, she doesn't need
and she botched so fucking hard.
On that, when they were doing that 3-spot.
So fucking hard. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I felt bad for Statlander because I thought she fucking died. I thought her neck got snapped. Like she landed, like she put her butt right on her neck, dude. It was, oh God.
And then, so the match went on. It was fun times. And then, oh wait, we didn't talk about the, that wasn't even the first match. I just realized that.
You know, best friends, and
because I forgot to mention MJF and Sean Spears at ringside when they were talking to Tony.
Yeah,
it's like, well, these two are gambling-ish. Like, how dare you? You know what you just said?
He's like, you want to get in this household? Yo,
and Tony's face is like,
I was dying.
Let's go to ringside. He totally wants in on the action.
No, so the thing that made me laugh was when Brandy was like introducing everyone to the ring. Above her name, it said she would never ring announce ever again.
Yeah,
and here she is ring announcing.
She's ring announcing, and at the perfect time, she looked at the camera and just said, "Shrug."
Right.
It was just like, oh, how did she know that the nameplate was right there? It was perfect.
It was awesome. I was dying.
Like, it was perfect. She just knew that they had done a really close-up shot of her, and she just went, "Shrug." Yeah. And I'm like, Brandy, I love you. You're just, you're a doll. Thank you. Then after the women's match, they do that interview with, what was it, Kip Sabian is his name?
Yeah.
Super bad.
No. They didn't do an interview. They did.
They interviewed Colt Cabana.
Yeah, Colt Cabana. And he's like, he's going to get rid of that loser boyfriend of hers.
And then he walked up.
Yeah, and he's like, what do you mean? I was like, you know I'm a wrestler too, right?
I'm not a fan. I wrestle. And he just, and then Punk, wow, I'm sorry, Colt. Colt just like kind of just like, you know how your mom just pops you right upside the face.
Mm.
Yeah, he just did that to him, and I'm just like, yo, Colt's a badass. he just smacked this boy. I loved it. I'm very easily popped when Colt Cabana's on camera. It's like, oh, Colt's on camera. He's gonna say something stupid, and here he is. He just popped him in the mouth.
Speaking of Colt on camera, did you watch BTE?
This past week, yes.
Yeah, dude, fucking that whole thing with him and Kenny Omega's gold.
So
gold.
3 weeks ago, he accidentally walks in the shot. It was a complete accident. You already knew that because he's like, oh fuck, and it's not the first time I've seen him do that on a YouTube show. It's hilarious when he does it. It happens so often. And then he did it with Kenny, and I'm like, oh, clearly this is going to be a thing. And then this week, he's he's not even like really close. He's just walking around the arena, basically. And like after telling Kenny, like, oh, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way. And then he's like an ant in the background. He's just an ant in the background. Just like he's not even walking into the shot by accident. Like he's coming out of the bathroom.
I didn't even see him the first time. Right. And then they stop, and I instantly knew it was Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana must be behind him.
I see. Okay, cool. And he comes all the way around. It's like, Colt, I love you. Just can I hug you, Colt?
Right, exactly.
And then what else happened? Oh, how did we miss the opening promo by Cody?
Oh yeah, another 5-star promo by Cody. You know, set the mood. I'm just
sitting here like, do you feel this? Do you feel this?
You know. There's every so often there's those promos that make you forget about everything, and clearly this is one of those promos that they were trying to do that, and they succeeded like to the top level. Wow. You know, building up the show at the same time.
Yeah. And it was weird how easy he transitioned from I'm talking to the world to I'm talking to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for a split second, I'm just like, wait, how did one doesn't simply just transition without anyone noticing. Right. Yeah, I saw that.
You yanked mine.
You almost yanked the whole damn set down.
Yeah, exactly.
By set, I mean your mic setup. In case anyone thinks we have a set, like, bro, no.
I mean, they probably can hear that, so.
Well, no, because you probably edit, like, your sound off when I'm talking sort of thing.
Well, I'm going to have to.
Kind of now.
Yeah. Everyday things.
What was it? Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Oh, that was a good match.
That was. I loved how MJF is like, hey, end the match now. End it now.
Full death. Full death right now.
MJF just screws them out of their win. It's like, come on.
It's like Daddy needs a win.
Brody Lee being announced as the Exalted One.
So that one caught me by surprise because I really haven't been paying attention to like rumors for the past couple of weeks. So
how did you feel about it then? Because
I love it. I love it, but they were also like WWE was also like kind of teasing that Matt Hardy was still going to be in WWE. So I was like, okay, now that he's not the Exalted One, which everyone thought he was going to be, he's going to go back to WWE to do some kind of thing, you know. But obviously, that's not the case.
Yeah,
as we find out later. But
I thought it was, like Peter called it, like he had said it right before. It's like I think it's Brody. I'm like I'm all for it, and it's funny because it's like I think this would have been a completely different thing had it been. Is this the one I was supposed to see in Rochester?
Yes.
Okay, so had it been in front of a live crowd, a lot of people have complained that it's like, okay, they've been overdoing the blackouts, where it's like blackout, lights back up, and it's a different person. I can see to a degree why people are saying that, because for like a string of like 3 months, they did it once a month, it felt like. 3 months straight. And it's like, okay, that's a bit much. So the fact there wasn't a crowd, they didn't necessarily have to do a blackout. They played it like a blackout, and where they cut to the video promo, and when the camera cut back, he's right behind them. But at least it wasn't a blackout to the crowd. Also, I'm curious as to what the crowd would have thought because they didn't really hint that it would be Brody at all, or at least not that I've seen. So I'm curious, like, oh, would the crowd have reacted? And it's like, maybe this is for the best because it's like, okay, we have a chance to solidify him without having to murder him at the same time, having the crowd going boo or anything like, oh, we don't
No.
believe this crap.
Well, I don't. I think the crowd would have loved it, considering the fact that we know how good he is.
I like to think so, but sometimes you never know.
Like, are you thinking of like the fact that they signed another former WWE superstar, or are
It
you
could have
thinking
depended
of
on
like,
that crowd itself. Like maybe that crowd itself would have been like, oh, another WWE guy. Also, it would have been a completely different segment had it been in front of a live crowd. I don't think it would have been like the Christopher Daniels being involved and calling it out, and then the way it went down. I think it would have been.
Yeah. The way they did it was perfect with no crowd.
Yeah,
the way they did
I think it would have been different had there been a crowd. Who knows? Maybe it would have been the main event segment. I doubt it, considering what happened later in this episode. But who knows? I guess we can just jump to it because after that, I think was the main event.
Hold on. Yeah. I got it pulled up a little bit.
Okay, cool. At least one of us are prepared.
Yeah, it was the main event.
Okay. So can we just talk about fuck the entrances? Let's just jump to the part where Sammy's just singing.
Oh yeah, I was like, this is awesome. Like I thought for a second that everyone that's on ringside was gonna start singing, but it really was just Sammy and MJF, and then you hear JR just like, stop it.
Honestly, that was perfect because it's like, okay, it makes sense that the good guys wouldn't be singing his music. It makes sense that it'd be Sammy and MJF of all people.
Mm.
When they give Sammy the mic, that's what. Okay, I was done. And I think the best part about him singing it was he was jokingly like blown up, like he was out of breath. And then like at one point he just couldn't remember the words because he was so just exhausted. And then he starts repeating the chorus at the very end. It's like, okay, bro, you're good. You're good. You don't have to keep going. And then Jericho at one point while he's singing just stands back up like, yeah, that's right. That's right. I want to hear my public singing my music. Like in that moment, I'm like, yo, Sammy's my hero. I can't tell Nige that because she'll kill me. In case anyone wants to know, Nige fucking hates Sammy. Like, so I have this ongoing joke with Peter and his girlfriend. I send her a gif of No Way Jose every time he shows up on Raw. And when I say show up on Raw, I mean like he could be running through the crowd for the WWE 24/7 title. He could be in the background of a segment. Just if he shows up on camera, she gets a gif. Sometimes she doesn't see it for days because she doesn't check her messages very often.
Wow.
So ever since he found out that she hates Sammy, he sends her a gif of Sammy. Now, Nige is a very early sleeper, so sometimes Sammy's not on until the main event, and she's been asleep for an hour already. So the next morning, she'll get up and go, what the fuck? And
wake up to the Spanish God.
Yeah, and it's just like, what have I done? At one point, I was actually sending Ash a gif of No Way Jose when I find out that he sends a gif of Sammy, and I'm just like, ooh, I didn't think this plan through at all when I said she hates Sammy. I'm like, oh, if I had realized that, I wouldn't have started this war at all. But here we are. This is where we live now.
You gotta deal with the consequences, buddy.
Have you watched last night's NXT at all?
No, because I heard they weren't doing live matches, so I didn't even bother.
Honestly, I really enjoyed it. No. It was literally just so they opened the show with Todd Phillips, #1 Raw announcer, and Triple H. Like they're clearly on a green screen in Connecticut, and they even said like we're in Stamford, Connecticut, like. And they're basically the hosts of the show. And they cut to, I guess, video promo buildup for Sammy not Sammy, sorry, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And like this is like they're hyping it up for the first hour of the show. I actually really enjoyed it.
Wait,
like
they're fighting again?
Yeah. At the last takeover, it was Tommaso versus Adam Cole. Johnny cost Tommaso the title. Hit him in the face with a belt. Got beat right there. So we've been dealing with the fallout from that. I'm very weird if I'm not going to watch NXT live. I end up just not watching it at all, even though I have it recorded.
I don't either.
So I just like get like the highlights from people. I'm sure you do the same.
No, I don't even pay attention to NXT, to be honest.
Like the only thing you get is probably from me because I just read the highlights and I might ask you something about it. So the first hour was them building up Johnny versus Tommaso at what it's supposed to be WrestleMania Takeover, but it's sounding like instead of there being a proper takeover the night before WrestleMania, the episode of NXT before WrestleMania is going to be when they do their takeover show, which that's really cool because it's going to be a stacked card. I'm going to watch that over AEW that night. That's just how it's going to be because it's like, oh, they're going to have these matches, but it's going to be really weird to see a couple of those matches without an audience, but I'm there for it because they're trying. And honestly, again, what else am I going to do? I'm a creature of habit. I just need something to get my mind off of it, and wrestling does that for me every week. I'm looking forward to it. The second hour, they came back to Triple H and Todd Phillips, and they start building up Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Again, they did a really good job on both of those. Honestly, I would say they're worth watching, just at least for you. And in case you forgot some of their feud, they actually tell you the story from their. Well, let me go back a little bit. They tell you the story of Johnny and Tommaso from them getting a tryout at the Performance Center to what happened recently last week when they fought all over the Performance Center. And especially for like since you have been watching recently, it'll catch you up on what's happened the last few months between those two. I would say it's worth watching, especially when it's like, you know what, you're not doing anything else, so why not just watch it? Cool. They did the same for Charlotte and Rhea. They showed you Rhea from how she started in the Mae Young Classic. I keep forgetting she was in the first Mae Young Classic because she looked completely different. Tall, blonde hair, just kind of falls in line with the rest of them almost kind of thing, where it's like she just looks like everyone else. Then they show her in the second Mae Young Classic, and it's like, oh, she clearly changed. So again, I would say the show is worth watching, even though it's just recaps. But they gave it to you in a format. It's like, okay, if you've never watched it before, this is a great jumping on point before like a big show. So me and my girlfriend, we've been watching Black Lightning. We've been binging on that. I think she's been. When I say we, I mean she's been binging it because like I'll wake up and she's already been sitting there watching 3 episodes on her phone. So
and
it's like,
you
okay,
just like sit there and watch it.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I just pretty much have to play catch up and just like, oh, how did this person? Wait, how is this person alive? They died how many times? Yeah, but it's a really good show. If you never watched it before, it's definitely worth watching. I jokingly say, oh, it's an authentic Black experience, but in some ways, it really is, or at least the urban Black experience, I should say, because there's many different forms of the Black experience. This is just one of them. I say many because Xavier Woods is like, he was a suburban Black kid. He likes to say, and I'm like, I've seen that. Yeah, that is a Black man's experience, or his Black man's experience. But yeah, there's all different forms, but this is the one you hear about the most, of course, the urban youth. I've also been watching a lot of New Girl, so I've been saying youths a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
New Girl?
I love New Girl. I just don't like that second to last season. No, you want to see whack. You watch that second to last season. Oh, that was rough.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, you watch the first maybe 2 episodes of that season, and then the last one. because that last episode, they kind of just ignore what happened all season long. And then the last season is kind of like a flash forward 2 years sort of thing. So
when you say new girl, you mean Game of Thrones is what you're talking about.
No, I watch good TV.
Well, it's not even TV.
It's in a TV episodic format. I watch good TV that has a good ending.
Shit, I almost dropped my phone.
Not built up for 7 seasons and shows a battle for 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're taking shots, and I'm not going to stop you. I'm just joking. Because I'm the one who binged everything to be disappointed in that last season. So,
see, when you say binge everything, do you mean like you didn't start watching until near the end of the series, or?
Yeah, I didn't start watching until the end of season, not the last season, but the second to last season.
So the last season started airing in April, right? So roughly a year ago now.
Yeah.
My mom started watching the show last January. So 3 months before the show came back, she binged the whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did too.
And then, so like she binged it, so it's all fresh in her mind. So when it starts airing, she's just like, huh? What? And it's just like to her, like, none of this makes any sense. She gets to the finale and it's like, and so I can hear that she's listening to it, and I can hear her reactions at this time because I live out of the living room at that point. And so like, I'm also, you guys are talking in the chat, so my phone's blowing up. So it's like, okay, whatever. So it finally ends, and I look at my phone. I'm like, okay. And I heard my mom go, what? I'm like, okay, cool. I'll give it 10 minutes. I go in there, and y'all are still going back and forth. I'm just like, okay, I'm guessing this wasn't good. And I go to my mom's room. I'm like, so how much did you like it? Yo, you know, like, when your mom looks at you because it's like, if you say another word, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like a chunkla kill you. I mean, she's going to take out a steak knife.
Yeah.
And cook you. It was one of those. I kind of just backed out slowly and just like, okay, didn't make any sudden movements. Yeah, it was one of those. I'm still laughing about it now. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's funny because, oh Lord, is Nige even awake? Nige, you up? No, she's dead asleep. It's the episode of The Simpsons where Bart's like, I'm gonna go like this, and if I hit you, it's your own fault. And Lisa starts doing the kicking one. If I hit you, it's your own fault. It's just weird because it's like, I don't need any sound. I know exactly what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Homer walks in there going, fight, 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 fight. It's wonderful. Good times. So what have you been doing to kill time in between, like, being at work and being at home?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. You know, they came out with Warzone.
That's right. My PlayStation Plus lapsed. I think it was either early this week or late last week. I meant to get it renewed, but I'm like, I don't really need this. I get the PlayStation Plus games. I'm like,
you don't need it to play Warzone.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, it reminded me. I'm like, okay, I don't really need PlayStation Plus. I don't think I'm going to download it because I'm good. Yeah, I don't need 100 gigs taking up my space. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good. If I had a backup drive, I could just plug in. Cool. Mm-hmm. I do that. I don't, and I'm not going to do that. Plus I'm not a Call of Duty person. At least, wait, what time is it?
It's almost 10.
Hold up. Oh, fuck my ass. I have no ass on my spine. No, Doom came out today. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, today at the time we're recording. So because things have been crazy and like the way things at work have been, I had a 10% off code from Best Buy for my birthday. So I went and bought myself a $70 eShop gift card.
Mm.
And I applied it towards Animal Crossing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. It's out today.
Ah, damn.
Lucky bastard.
No, it's weird. I guess someone got it early enough that they had the physical cartridge because I just tried it on my Switch just now, and I have it digitally, and It hasn't gone live yet, so I'm like, oh, okay, fine.
Well, I mean, in Australia, they're technically already playing because it's midnight there.
Hang on, let me see if I click on this person profile and see where they're from.
Because it starts
Kansas
midnight.
City, Missouri. So I assume they have a physical copy.
Wow.
And what I saw was she's already ruined our island. He just put that a
she's live
screenshot.
streaming it?
No. He just put up a screenshot of like he took a picture with his phone of her ruining their island. I don't know what he's doing. I've never played Animal Crossing, but like considering the way the world's been, why the hell not?
Yeah, I know.
Plus, like I'm sure Nigel will see me playing. It's like, ooh, let me play, and it'll be a cute little game we can play together. I'm sure.
Oh, I was kind of hoping that Nintendo would like ease the fuck off of their prices right now for their games because of everything that's going on, you know. But it doesn't seem like
they did that Mario Day thing last week, so.
Yeah, but that's for Mario Day.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just for Mario games.
Do like a 15-20% off on games that came out when the Switch first came out, maybe something like that.
Or like 50% off all Nintendo
Nintendo
original IPs.
Oh boy, you got big dreams there, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, most of those games are like fucking 2-3 years old already. So why do we still have to pay $50 for a game that came out 3 years ago?
That's a whole conversation because that's part of the reason why, like, say you have a copy of Mario Kart from the Wii, it's only gone up in value. Granted, it's 2 generations ago, but the way it's held its value and gone up is insane. Like most games, they go down to $20 and then you pick it up like 2 generations later. Okay, $25, $30 maybe at most. Mm-hmm. No, these games, they go far up. That's why I'm like always like if it's a Nintendo game, I'll buy a physical copy because like 4 or 5 years from now, this will be worth having and selling then. Plus, also physical games, no one can take that game away from you, really. You license game, it's a whole thing. You understand what I'm saying. I'm sure everyone at home gets it. It's like digital, you buy a license. You don't buy the game. You just pay a fee to play it.
Yep.
Oh, snap. I just saw something on Facebook and it said Adam Cole is officially the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. He beats Finn Balor's record today at 293 days was the previous record, and I assume Adam Cole's not going to defend it until the last takeover before the last NXT before WrestleMania, so he's guaranteed to have the record going into that show.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Let me see. Let me double check. Finn Balor. Yep, Finn Balor. 292 days is how long he held the title for. And I was there when he lost it to Samoa Joe at an NXT Live event in Lowell.
And you became famous.
Yes, for like a year, you would see me, Peter, and Ash in the opening for NXT. The shocked look on my face was on WWE.com for a while. It was in a gallery too.
Also, you were immortalized in a video game, sir.
I was?
Yeah, you were in the 2K. They played in the beginning, the opening video.
Oh, as the 2K. NXT opening?
No, like you know how when you first boot up the game?
Yeah.
And they play that video. I was there when you played it.
It's been so long now, I can see why I forget that. Do you remember? It must have been the 2K that came out later that year then, right?
It was a 2K that they first started like bringing NXT in.
So probably
because the 2K showcase was NXT.
WWE2K, I'm guessing 17 if it took place in 2016.
It would have to be.
That must have been the one that they had the NXT collector's set.
With was it Ric Flair you got it from? You got a Ric Flair collector thing? That
was the one from last year. This one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, it was the one where Brock Lesnar was on the cover of that. I'm gonna have to buy that back and because I think I still have it. I have a bunch of the 2K games still because I never got rid of them because again I buy physical. I'm gonna have to go back and see that because I honestly don't remember. I just remember like it being on .com and like I didn't even find it myself. Peter sent it to me. He's like, bro, you're on .com. I'm like, what? And like I'm going through the gallery and it's like one of those you have to click right to find it, and it's just like, holy shit, there it is. Ever since, I've been trying to find the photographer who took that picture, like whether it be on Twitter or Facebook. I don't know if he has social media. I can't remember who the photographer was. I just remember when that moment happened, like I froze and I saw what he was doing and I'm like, okay, let me make sure he gets this picture. And it's like I want to go back and say thank you, and could I get a copy of that picture for myself?
Right.
Because I would totally love to frame that, because it's just I don't like pictures of myself, but I love that picture because it's like that's peak Dan right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not the first time I've had something involved in wrestling like that, so it was really cool still. Oh yeah, that picture was on What Culture videos, on and off for like the next 2 years at that point.
Yeah.
It was just really weird. It's like Peter sent it to me one day.
So
my brother sent it to me one day.
Where's all that YouTube money?
I know, right? I commented on one of the videos once. It's like, hey, that's my picture, guys. No one ever commented. And it's like, oh, dang, I was hoping like they'd hit me up and say something. Like, what? Yeah.
You should have made your YouTube picture that picture.
I did, actually. But then again, it's like anyone on the internet could have said, hey, that's me. But, whatever. How's Darlene been?
She's all right.
She's still a punk ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is she not in the room, or is she sleeping?
Oh, no. I changed the layout of my office, so like the door is like right behind me.
Oh, okay.
And I close it so that way the mic doesn't pick up everything.
It will pick up everything, yeah.
Yeah.